Hello, I'm Thembo James, a student at Kampala International University. Today, I'm going to take you through computer input and output devices. So, we'll be learning together here on my YouTube channel. You, Before we go far, you can like and subscribe, and maybe you share to your friends. So, first of all, we'll talk about the learning outcomes. The learning objectives, then the learning outcomes. The learning objectives, by the end of this lesson, students will be able to first define input and output devices, list and explain examples of both input and output devices, differentiate between input and output devices, then the learning outcomes. So these are what I expect you, the viewers, by the end of this lecture, what you will have got at least picked from my lecture. The first, by the end of this lesson, you, the viewers, you'll be able to clearly define input and output devices, list and explain at least 3 examples of both input and output devices, give at least 3 differences between input and output devices. So, first of all, we'll begin with the input devices. These are hardware components that allow users to provide instructions and data to a computer. They act as a bridge between the physical world and the digital. Here we are talking about linking the person, you, with the computer. As you can see here, the input devices. These are the input devices, the pic that you're seeing there. So, examples of input devices, we talk about the keyboard. This one allows you to type text, numbers, and symbols. So the keyboard is this one you use typing, like that one that has alphabet, symbols, and some text like functions. So we have a mouse used for clicking, rolling, and navigating the computer's interface. So the mouse is that thing we use to navigate. So mouse, then many mouse, they are called mice. Then another input device, we have a microphone, captures audio signals, limits, as we can say, your voice, and converts them into digital sound. Have a scanner, reads physical documents. These are the like photos and papers, and creates digital copies. So, in other words, a scanner changes a hard copy information into soft copy that you can be projected on a monitor or any other projector. Then you have a touch screen, responds to your touch, allowing you to interact with the device directly. Here, these are, we can talk about the phone. So this festive whatever, that is the touch screen. Also helps you to enter and interact with the computer. So next of it are the the output devices. These are hardware components that allow a computer present information to the user in a way they can perceive. So here we are talking about after inputting what you will after inputting. So the devices that can allow you to output the information you put inside. So here we are talking about the monitor, the headphone, projector, printer, as you're seeing those pics. So, examples of output devices, you have a monitor, displays visual information, text, images, videos generated by the computer. You have a printer, creating physical copies of a digital document on a paper. You have speakers that convert digital audio signals into sound waves that you can hear. So here with speakers. Projector displays images from the computer onto a large screen. Then lastly, the headphones we use, these are the headphones deliver audio directly to your ears from a private listening experience. So here are some of the differences between input and output devices. First of all, the first point about input devices, they allow users to interact with and control the computer. So meaning you interact with that input device so that you can control the computer. So on the other side, you have output devices presents information from the computer to the user. So for the output devices, they give out the processed data. Input, on the side of the input devices, it takes the information from the user and sends it to the computer. Then on the other side, it takes information from the computer and sends it to the user. So as in input, the user is the one who inserts in. Then output, the computer is the one that gives out the response. So the last difference here is convert on input devices, converts physical actions or signals like keystrokes, mouse movements, or voice into digital data the computer can understand. So here, after these devices help you to interact with the computer and help you to bridge the gap between you and the computer so that the computer can understand. Remember, the computers don't understand our language, so they use functions. So on the side of output devices, they convert digital data from the computer into a language that a human can understand, like visual displays, sound, and printed documents. So here are some of the questions for personal revision. You can give me the feedback through messages there after subscribing and liking. First question is how are input and output devices used in gaming? How are input and output devices used in gaming? How are input and output devices used in education? The last one is how can healthcare centers use input and output devices? How can health centers use input and output devices? So thank you for watching. For those who have been following on my YouTube channel. So as we are conclusively, input and output devices work in a tandem to facilitate communication between users and computers. So tandem means that they coordinate that between the user and the computer, whereby input devices allow users to provide instructions and data, while output devices enable computers to present information and results back to the user. So I remain Thembo James, a student at Kampala International University. We'll be sharing more. You like, comment, and as well you can give your view where necessary, and we interact. Thank you. Have a nice day. We'll meet when comes another episode. Thank you.